Hello, this is Markus Römer speaking now in the 50th GMP Detox session. I never expected that to have 50 clips on this topic. So that's great. More than 100 likes. So we will continue that with more than 200 subscribers. And now it's time to go into the deep world of CGMP and GMP. And today I want to talk a little bit about quality metrics. So if you are an auditor, you might think about to get a kind of a ranking, what kind of quality system you are looking at. And if you would say it's good, it's satisfying, it's great, or whatever. And the same applies to you if you are within your quality system. So if you would ask people, how do you work with your quality system? How satisfied are you with that? Do you maintain that just to get through audits and inspections? Is it supporting your daily activities? Could be a couple of questions around that. And it's not easy to measure a quality system. There's no physical unit for that. You cannot say we have 3 kilograms of quality in this company or 5 meters or whatever. And so this is the real stuff that we are talking about. How good is your quality system? What are quality metrics? And in GMP, CGMP, and medical devices, we can improve on a daily basis. So we will have a few on that today in this very special session number 50. Okay, so in general, I should start, and we are looking here on the European GMP regulations. Volume 4, regulations and guidelines. I like them. They give me a kind of a framework, guidance, something that I must follow. And regulations are usually written with a good sense. So I know people complaining all the day about regulations and how stupid these are and so on and so on. If you start your day like this, you can do that, but it will not make you happy, and it's not true. It's simply not true. Most of the regulations that I must read, they are quite very well written. And let us have a few on that. Here you see that Ultralex Volume 4, starting with Europe. And I really like that. But I also have sometimes, I'm not always happy. So if I look here on Ultralex Volume 4 and you scroll down, for example, you come to the glossary, the European GMP glossary. Hey guys, this is written from 2004. It was never updated. It still had this old look and feel from 2004. Never updated. How can you do that? Total page number is missing, by the way. So good documentation practices. Even agencies can do things better. In general, I'm very happy about that, but I just want to show you some negative examples. Why not? The glossary 2004, unbelievable. Okay, maybe time for an inspection of the agency. The website is even not really cool. So then they have added a part number 4 for ATMPs into that horrible structure. If you look here on the guidelines, very strange, and sometimes I even don't like the wordings and things. I must scroll down to somewhere 50, for example. So I'm reading that stuff, by the way. And I have marked it. It should start right now. Here. Where is it? Qualification and validation. Why was the regulation written? GMP is a directive. We have the annexes. We have part 1 and part 2 for APIs. And for ATMPs, they have written a known regulation. Nobody knows why. Very strange numbering. 10, 10.1, 10.1.1. So heating 4 was going back to this number, 10, 10, 10, 11. Nobody can explain it to you why I did it. Very strange. But here, things like this, I don't like that. Here in the footer, principles relevant to the validation of computer equipment. Number 17 is, where is it? Here. If computerized systems are used, their validation should be proportionate to the impact thereof on the quality of the product. Yes. Number 17. Principles relevant to the validation of computer equipment are laid down in Annex 11 of the Part 1 of the GMP guidelines published in Volume 4. Yeah, but it's not called computer equipment. The word does not exist. Hey, that's not good. So computerized systems would be correct. So they were even not able to take over the correct title of the annex. Okay, but in general, I love them, but I also see some things very critical. If you write regulations, talk to other persons, try to do an exchange, and if you don't know that, ask an expert. You will find someone in Europe, no problem. Even more irritating, that was the guideline as part 4 of the GMP Ultralex Volume 4. Then you would Google for guidelines relevant for the ATMPs. Here, this guideline is not referenced. Sometimes how they do their websites is very strange. They map everything in here, but the one who is relevant for that is not mentioned. You could Google also again, and then you will find a legal framework for advanced therapies, ATMPs. And here, both sites are not linked to each other. Who's writing that? That in Brussels? I don't know. Not well made. Okay, but usually I love it. So now we come back to our real topic, quality metrics. I share here my screen of the US FDA quality metrics for drug manufacturing. Very well written. That's the current status. It's from May 2024. Even mentioning quality management maturity as something which was coming up in the last 2 years and so on. And they describe here very well what are quality metrics. And if you are a quality manager or the head of the quality unit or whatever, you must think about what kind of data you would like to use as key performance indicators, which are relevant for your vitality of your pharmaceutical quality system. So by the way, I even like that the US FDA is using the expression PQS from ICH Q10. So the things from ICH are taken over step by step. So quite very well done. So they also describe where it's coming from. And now you must see that's an initiative that was started in 2004. So this is now 20 years ago. Maybe it's a little bit frustrating that nothing huge happened in the last 20 years. We will have an eye on that, the quality metrics program. So they issued something like CGMP for the 21st century. And now we have 1/4 already of the 21st century next year, in some days, 2025. Yeah, so there was the intent to implement a modern risk-based pharmaceutical quality system. So risk-based. So that was where this buzzwords were created. Whenever you ask someone, how do you do that? Then they say risk-based. Often it's effort-based. Yeah, or to discuss away things which are really important. So, and let's have a look into this final report of 2004. Very interesting. What were the goals? I would say none of the goals have been really implemented, and executed. It should not stop us to think about that. What are quality metrics? And it's not forbidden if you create your own stable system. I found that interesting. International collaborations, the FDA has increased its collaboration, blah, blah, blah. Also, yeah, with the PICS and so on, they have become a member, but still GMP and CGMP are different. So they could do a little bit more on that. Why not? Okay. So, and then they describe a risk-based approach, very often misunderstood quality system approach. So that was the plan 20 years ago. Yeah. Again, this old dog is still there, part 11. The comment period is closed. Public comments during 2005. Yes, nothing happened. Okay. Anyhow, it's good to have plans. Then in 2016, it's already from 2004 to 2016, some time is in between that. So they have written a draft guidance for industry, submission of quality metrics. Quite very interesting. Maybe also COVID-19 was delaying that a little bit. Maybe it could also improve it, but it didn't happen. To my knowledge, and I tried to Google it, this guidance for industry is still a draft. So there's no final one. And to my knowledge, I do not know if there's a final and when a final will come. I would be delighted of that, having a final one, maybe not submission of quality metrics, but something like a guidance for industry of ideas or of concepts for quality metrics. Again, remember, guidance for industries are non-binding recommendations, but recommendations on that topic would be quite very useful to measure the vitality of your quality system and to identify areas for improvements. Why not? Okay, so this is what was done. Quite a good document. This is how it looks like in the internet. You can download the draft guidance document from November 2016. And in this, just make it a little bigger for you, you will find interesting quality metrics defined, the so-called lot acceptance rate as an indicator of manufacturing process performance. Then you have the product quality complaint rate as an indicator of patient or customer feedback. And you have an invalidated OOS rate as an indicator of the operation of a laboratory. So that was the basic idea. I think it makes sense. If I start to read site master files or something like this, and in audits, I'm asking, what are your quality metrics? I could think at least that these three metrics, quality metrics, could be mentioned and measured as an indicator. Some call it a quality index of the quality system. And you know that this is defining the vitality and the stability of the quality system itself. So again, it's only a draft version. I don't know if a final will come. Okay, so a summary also of all that activities, you will find that also on the ISP website, defining what happened from 2013, 15, 16, here with the lot acceptance rate, product quality complaint rate, and so on. And then there's a special report series. Even at the ISP, not a lot happened since 2017. My impression, I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's a little bit a pity because this topic is so important and it's not well recognized. Before you talk about AI, you can use that for data, especially if we talk about quality metrics. That could make sense, but not too much happened. Okay, but the FDA, it seems to me, because they didn't had the improvement or the feedback or the progress that they wanted to have, they thought about a new program. It's called the Quality Metrics Reporting Program, which they were just kind of verifying if that is possible. There's a description of that here. You see that on this website, and how they want to do that with a description of quality metrics again. I think that's the most current one, and how they want to do a kind of a pilot program with different participants calculating, that the lot acceptance rate and so on, the effectiveness, just to refine that. I thought that's also interesting to think about other quality metrics, the process capabilities, right first time rate, lot release cycle times. Yes, a measure of the amount of time it takes for the lot or batch disposition process. I found that very interesting. The PQS effectiveness. We must measure the kappa effectiveness. The repeat deviation rate, also very interesting, repeat deviation rate. So then you can see how your preventive actions, how effective these are. Change control effectiveness should be measured. In a lot of processes, this is missing. The overall equipment effectiveness, or equipment also in the meaning of computerized systems and unplanned maintenance, for example. Yeah, and here also to name some more, the laboratory performance, supply chain robustness. I think it's interesting to think about different quality metrics that you could measure. You could also find new ones. Nowadays, if I look into a lot of pharmaceutical quality systems, even is still missing an approach to identify, to assess what kind of quality metrics should we use. And sometimes I see there even very stupid things, that bonuses or incentives are paid if you increase the number of deviations or something like this. That's not a part of the quality system mission. But if you would say, okay, next year you get a bonus if you have less deviations, then people sometimes get really a great inspiration, motivation. So what they do is then they cluster deviations. So in total amount, they have a lower number of deviations. But that's not the idea of quality metrics. Basically, that's fake data. Okay, so but that program was quite very interesting, and just to highlight some of other quality metrics numbers which are possible to measure if all the data is from valid data sources. So we talk also again here about data integrity a little bit. So that quality management maturity program was published. It was basically finished in January this year, 2024. Very interesting. They had a kind of a white paper, again, some background, request for comments. I don't know how many comments they got. I hope they got a lot of them. And that was the CDR quality management maturity program, also with defining the program, a little bit the history. If you have a deeper view on that, you will also see, and that's an article. You see the DOI number there, lessons from CBER quality management maturity pilot programs. I really like that this is published as an article. because it gets more this kind of scientific approach of quality risk management, of setting up quality systems. And this is quite very interesting because they describe what they have done. So they see that as a QMM assessment process scoring approach with different results. There were been assessors. They were setting it up with 2 guys from the US FDA and 1 kind of independent consultant or whatever. Assessors, participants, and the FDA generally prefer data presented visually in rather spider plots rather than in tabulated scores. Yeah, good to know. The next time I will do something like that. Presenting data, I will take the spider plots and so on, and you see here some of the results. I'm not sure why supplier evaluation or quality communication does have a lower score. I also think quality communication is very important to do some internal, I call it quality marketing, in a very positive sense, which is very important. Okay, so decision is whether the QMM assessments would be best executed by FDA personnel, a contracted third party, or a combination of both. Maybe a combination of both, but also then stronger collaboration. Also talk about that with the PICS. Why not? The quality metrics program is separate from the QMM pilot program. Okay. Yeah, but we use the results to define the quality metrics program. So I was thinking about that. So, and you will find here also executing 2 QM pilots. I don't know if only 2 pilots can be representative for bigger things, but it was showing some activities. Again, I don't know what will come next. What is also interesting, the US FDA have published, sometimes they call it white paper. At least the marketing look and feel looks quite very nice with the basically new US FDA logo and so on. The quality management, maturity, QMM program, practice areas, and prototype assessment protocol development. Yes, that could be helpful for you if you think about to measure your quality metrics. I have highlighted some things in here also. Give me a second. QMM is not an additional burden or requirement. Yes. And I think you must talk a lot about that it does not seem like additional burden or requirement. It is in fact integral to an establishment's quality system. Yes, most establishments already have processes and practices aligned with QMM. Yes. Achieving higher level of QMM naturally results from an establishment proactive continual improvement efforts. And that's important. I like that sentence because of this proactive. Like ICH-Q9 quality risk management is talking about a retrospective and a prospective quality risk management approach. Most of the quality systems, how they react, how they work, what I see are retrospective ones. So you have a failure, an event, a deviation, and then you do a kappa, and then it's solved. But to do that proactively, I think that's the Champions League where we want to be. Yes, to have that continual improvement efforts, not based on things that went wrong, but we predicted things that could go wrong in following a very good quality risk management approach. Okay, so you see the story is still not finished or ended. There's also another white paper, Quality Management Maturity Essential for Stable US Supply Chain of Quality Pharmaceuticals. There are similar activities in Europe, by the way. That could be mentioned. Here you see also some nice figures, CGMP, ICHQ10, and on the highest level, the QMM. Yeah, why not? It shows it quite very good, the direction and where we want to be. We are still not there. Still also key elements of QMM rating programs and things like this must be developed. And I personally think that these must be different in every different company because of the history, but also on the products, sterile, non-sterile, filling, sterile filling, tablets. So there's a wide range of different processes, and I think we will not have one concept, one size fits all. That will not work, but it could happen that in an introduction meeting for an inspection, you might describe your approach for quality metrics and why you measure what and in which frequency and what kind of decisions you want to do on the basis of the data that you record. Not only salary or something like this, but also your quality decisions should be based on that. So that's the current status. Starting from 20 years ago, we are still in kindergarten, maybe, but we have not finished that. And sometimes it's really not easy to have there a final conclusion, but I think we are on the right way, on the right track. What comes also are other publications and articles. I don't know if they want to use that as a kind of a marketing approach. I don't know. That was here from India. To be honest, I was a little bit shocked about that. So I'm missing here the totally scientific approach. Okay, anyhow, I want to show you something here. They tell you what they have done and blah, blah, blah. So I don't know if that should be a sign of a good quality system. In my opinion, it is not, definitely not. So in this 70% of the root cause is due to human-related issues. So this is a very clear indicator that the quality system is not vital, it's not modern, it's showing so much. That's not a good thing. So the major root cause is found to be human error, and they are further screened to identify the actual errors. Yes, the actual errors is that the process is not well defined, the procedures are not well written. Usually you see missing quality culture if you say 70% of root causes is due to human-related issues. So then here, from the collected data, it was found that the CAPA procedures involved 100% of redesign and redeveloping of the process of 96% of personal retraining. Wow. Is that any good? That's horrible. 69% of personal retraining. It shows an investigator inspector three things. You are only maybe able to hire stupid people because you train and train and train them, but they never do it right. 70% of the root causes are human-related errors, and you do 96% of personal retraining, and it never gets better. Secondly, maybe your training system is not good, to say it very friendly, but 69% of personal retraining. The training system is not good. I would say the entire pharmaceutical quality system is in a very, very bad status. We could also think about quality metrics like this. This is something that I really, as an auditor, it's very simple. If I ask, please, can you show me your deviations and what is the main root cause? And if it's somewhere higher than 50% of root causes are due to human-related issues, human errors, then how the next 2-3 days of the audit will go with you. Basically, it's a waste of time. Okay, so very interesting how that was published. I have no idea about authors. Vice principal, assistant professor, quality assurance officer of Teva. I like Teva. What are they doing? Oh, okay. So, but there are also good articles. Sorry. Yeah, here, quality in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals industry views. I must say, even this is from 2015, it's better than this one. Reporting of test results. Yeah, okay. So in general, in this case, we might also ask, if we talk about quality metrics, what is our idea behind all that? You can paint your horse in any color. It will not be that fast like a car. So 96%. Okay. So anyhow, there are also good ones like this one. I marked here something below that because they did a real study. So here we go quickly in here. Metrics commonly used to assess company product quality, correlation between 483 and warning letters, number of recalls, product defect rates, customer complaint rates, adverse events rates, and so on. Yes, but here that's also figure 3 is quite very metrics that companies might be willing to share anonymously for industry quality improvement efforts. Yes, complaint rates, non-conformance rates or deviation rates, number of corrective actions, like we have seen that here, the effectiveness rates, the product return rates, and so on. But also, I think there will be not one final number describing the grade of a quality system. We could think about that, but I think it's not easy. I just want to go back here to the US FDA website from, let me check, 2022. I think that's the best one, the best source that we were looking at today. So the manufacturing performance, the PQS effectiveness, laboratory performance, supply chain robustness. There you find some cool stuff which can be used to measure your quality metrics. But beside of that, we might also have some implementation issues. Sometimes if I look on system landscapes, for example, there's a dedicated system for SOP or document and maybe records management. There's a dedicated system for training management, and there's a dedicated system for change management. So how can you divide your system landscape into 3 different areas, in 3 different systems, not connected to each other, automatically connected by interfaces, and then you try to get out data? You can do so, yes, but it's really, really complicated. So also think about where are the data sources, how do you get that data, and then to work on quality metrics. Again, I think we are still not at the end of the road. We still need to learn a lot. Maybe we must also speed up. In the last 20 years, we have been not very fast on that, or the agencies altogether. But quality metrics is very important. If I would start now again as a quality manager, it could happen. I would first start to think about what KPIs, quality metrics, do I want to measure to prove that I have a continuous improvement, that I'm not having a GMP system who is managing the chaotic situations from day to day. Double D, double S, is it called in British English, and maybe also in American English. So that would be interesting. So that was GMP Detox session number 50, a little bit longer one. but it is really worth to think about that. I met a wonderful colleague about 2 months ago, a qualified person, which I really like. And he was talking to me if we should do a training or a seminar or something like this on quality metrics. And I think it's really needed to do that. And maybe one thing are here numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or something like this, but also the integration, the implementation. I still call it quality marketing. And for that, also, you must provide numbers. Very simple. Thanks so much. Session number 50. I hope you enjoyed that. We were going a little bit deeper today. Have a great day. If you want to subscribe, maybe the day will come that I will earn some money with YouTube. I don't think so. I just make it for fun. Okay, have fun. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Thank you.